Greetings, hope you all enjoyed the Season 14 Scrub League Playoff Duels. In this video we're going to be checking out all deck lists that featured in the tournament in order from the lowest placing to the highest, in no particular order on some of the evenly placed ones. So we're going to start off with the bottom 4 deck lists. Let's go and have a look at the first one, which is... let's look at Greg's Kaiju Graydle deck. This one's one of the weirder deck lists because I saw an Upstart Goblin, but there were no desires and it's more than 40 cards, so very weird deck list because of the Upstart, but otherwise it's a standard Kaiju Graydle deck. Triple Radiant as his choice because that's probably the Kaiju that you want to put on your opponent's side, because he does play the Kyoto Waterfront field spell, so it has no quick effect, meaning that it's probably one of the safer ones to put on the opponent's field. Standard Graydle lineup 3-3-2 as well as triple impact, and he said at the end of the tournament that he didn't like Graydle Parasite, so it's probably one of the ones he's going to drop afterwards. Reasoning's a cool tech, and his extra deck is not really needed. He rarely went into it. I don't think he went to it once at all during the tournament. The interesting one here is Akashic Magician, because of course you can use it to bounce a Kaiju, which you summon your opponent's side of the field, meaning that you can do the Kaiju play once again, or just summon another Kaiju on your side and then bounce theirs, so you can have a Kaiju for the following turn. Otherwise, the rest of the deck list is pretty standard Kaiju Graydle, and he plays last place, joint last place in fact. Unfortunately, the deck's been power crept quite a bit by all the newer decks and all the new support, and this is one of the few decks that got hit as well by the balance because of the slumber, and it lost a lot of momentum because of that. So let's go and have a look at the next one, which is Zane, the guy on the right side. People are confused in the video because he was playing against Cyber Dragons, but his name was Zane. But his name is actually Zane, and he's played Cubics. So this is a standard Cubic deck, I guess. Triple Karma, triple what's it called? Unification, triple Crimson Nova, yeah. And he also get quite a bit of his games. He was nearly in top cut. He just had to beat the Cyber Dragon player. Ironically, he managed to get 8 hand traps fit into this deck somehow, and he did say after, when he sent the deck list in, that there was too many hand traps, and the extra deck is just rank 4s and level 7 synchros, as well as some of the nightmare bits. I think everyone runs Cyberus, Phoenix or Unicorn, like at least 2 of those. Yeah, this is Zane's deck list. I think he had a deck profile a few months ago and it's very similar to this, except he added more hand traps to this build in particular. Alright, let's go to the next one, which is one of the other bottom 4 players. Right, this was one of those weirdest deck lists, probably the weirdest one in the tournament, which was called Tindangle, in quotes. It has the artifact and Winwich engine as well. So it's basically his invoke deck. He took out his invoke bits and he put in the Tindangle bits. Invoke deck from pre-links, I guess. And Tindangles, of course, they have flip mechanics. I don't know what most of them do, but they have pretty big defenses. And this has 2-3. This has 0. Oh, the other ones have big attack and 0 defense. Zero defense. The other ones have big defense, 0 attack. Okay, and he has 2 Penguin Soldiers, which is probably the meme pick for him. The rest are pretty standard. Of course, the Solemn Brigade for him, composed of installed monsters, and the extra deck, the Winwich Synchro targets some rank 4s and some links. 2 of the Tindangle guys and the Subterra guy because it's good for flips. Can't really explain much about Tindangles, but that's his list. And it was bottom 4 anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. So let's go and have a look at the next one, which is the other one in the same group who didn't manage to go through. Quite shocked that it didn't actually manage to even get to top 6 with this deck. It's Satellarknight, which was the world's winner, I think 2-3 years ago. And I don't know if this is the build that won worlds, but I think there's too many traps that are the same. So just 3 Phoenix Chains, 3 anti-spells, not enough alphas, they should run 3. Triple Storming, I think they should reduce some of them to 2s and have more options in terms of back row, because if they play around one of them, they play around the other ones as well. So in one of his other games, we didn't manage to feature him because I thought Sam would get top cut. We didn't manage to feature him, and it was one of his games that I was just spectating. He had the 2 anti-spells on the field, which was completely useless in the matchup that he was playing at the time. Link monsters, only 2 of them, Decode and his Star Dude, and a bunch of rank 4s. And including the rank 4s that need 3 materials that are really busted, such as Trivia for Satellarknights. So that's Sam's Satellarknight deck list, which didn't even top 6 in Scrub League.
playoff, sadly. Let's go in top 6. We got the 6th and slash 5th place Dre, who was eliminated in Top Cut by Cyber Dragons. He was playing DDD. And this is his list. He lost because he flipped Imperial Order when someone blind MST'd it, and then he had a spell which he couldn't use because it was negated. That was his lose condition apparently. This is a pretty turbo-y one with triple Allure, double Desires, triple Necro Slime, triple Slime, triple Ghost. These are pretty standard stuff, and the weird tech he always ran since the beginning of him playing D&D is Puppet Master. It's a really cool tech. Just tribute summon for it, and you pay 2k life points, summon 2 Fiend from Graveyard, which is probably going to be DDDs. So that can be the Genghis that you tributed, because you can just fuse with Swirl Slime, tribute for this, and summon another one, and then you can just summon Yugioh because of that play, because you would have used Genghis on the field. And I believe they can't attack, which is not even a big drawback because it doesn't negate the effect. So you can use the effect afterwards of the stuff that you bring back, and it only costs 2k, and it doesn't matter if you set up a good board. And you main deck 2 Vanity's Fiend as well to lock down your opponents, I guess, if you didn't draw the Puppet Master for the combos. It's extra X, pretty standard combo-y stuff, and nothing really unusual listed down there. So yeah, here's the D deck list which made the top 6. The other top 6 player was Danny, I believe, who's playing a new Blackwing deck. He's missing, I'm surprised he's playing only 2 Chris actually. This deck, not this list, this deck I believe topped OCG recently in the meta, but their meta is weird, so. And yeah, he's playing one Vayu, 1 Harmattan, 3 of the new yellow thing, Ouster the South Wind, and 3 of the apparently short print super rare Simum the Poison Winds, as well as 2 of the new Towers-esque Synchro monster. The only link monster he ran was Apprentice Witchling, which is quite handy for Blackwings because they're all pretty much just start monsters and they all get boosted, so you can OTK much easier, and it gives you 2 more zones for your synchros. 2 of the trap cards that's new: triple Icarus, 1 Delta Crow, which I think in the feature match he managed to resolve Delta Crow against Yosenju, and triple Whirlwind, triple Allure. I think triple Allure is not great when he was using it because he ended up blind alluring once or twice in his feature match, which is obviously not good. That means you don't have enough monsters to use for your Blackwings. So yeah, that's his deck list, which made top 6. Now let's go into the higher end of the tournament, which is the top 4, which was DanO's surprisingly good Nekroz deck. He said it was because of evenly matched. He had resolved evenly matched quite a lot. That's probably because people play around Trish, which means they put their whole hand on the field so they don't get Trish because they have no cards in hand, and then boom, he has evenly matched / struggling battle to resolve and remove more cards than they should, because Trish is a threat. So you either get Trish or get evenly matched against this deck. And he plays the Incantation build, of course. They're going to get more support in Sofu next. I think it's out next week, the sneak peek is. So he's took advantage of that by using the Candle as well as the Talisman draw. No Yosenjus because you've already got the Incantation, so he just ran Manjus, and only hand traps he has are the Nekroz, of course. All of them are pretty much hand traps. And the Ghost Ogre, which came in handy in the MEKK-KNIGHT matchup, although he lost that 2-0 in the top cut. In the extra deck, he was utilizing the Nyala, the new tech, which this took like years to release, and Nekroz probably one of the few decks that took advantage of that because you can equip the Herald or the Natis, I believe. Once done, if this goes sounds good. Yeah, you can attach the Natis from the graveyard, which will recycle the effects of Herald or Natis. He's got a bunch of synchros actually, probably to dump with the Kaleidoscope, but he's also got some makeable ones like Black Roach Dragon, because he's got Ghost Ogre in the main deck to synchro with. He doesn't actually run any link monsters, which I'm surprised, probably because you don't really go to the extra deck that much, because it's the Incantation build which locks you out of your extra deck. So that's his top 4 Nekroz deck, 2018 build, I guess. This is actually a pretty solid list. And I go to the other one, which is the Cyber Dragon by KG. I don't know if they topped before in TCG, but Cyber Dragons are a pretty solid OTK deck. It's a bit glass candy at times, but KG managed to pilot this build to the top 4 in his first ever playoffs. Cyber Dragon, of course, their best card is not a Cyber Dragon, a Galaxy Soldier, the best card in the deck. That's what Lewis told me when he won the playoffs with him. And he's got Cyber Dragon stuff as well as the new ones such as Cyber Dragon Ertz, Cyber Eternity Dragon, and a bunch of the Chimera tech stuff which are pretty handy to kill the field. He's also got Cyber Rev system, Emergency Cyber, and Mac Dupe, which is good now in the deck because you can resolve it on 2 different monsters, which is Ertz and Core. He's got some of the new ones as well, like a Cybernetic Overflow, which was quite handy in his DDD matchup because Dre ended up popping the back discard and then he +2'd or something afterwards. And he's got the Quick Play Fusion spell as well. 2 Infinities, 2 Novas, so you can make 2 Infinities in a game. 2 Shiga, the overlink is Clifford Genius, as well as the Griffin, which he mentioned is a good one for the lockdown because you can go into Shiga and link it with Griffin as well as an Infinity. So you've got basically weird skill drain on the field as well as a negate for things trying to clear that. Other than that, that's his Cyber Dragon build. He said it was incomplete because I think it's because he doesn't have free emergency, and yeah, that's his deck list. I'm surprised he doesn't run Linkuriboh actually. I thought they would run Linkuriboh, but yeah, he doesn't run Linkuriboh. Okay, so on to the second place, which is the Yosenju deck by Julian. This deck, I think it didn't lose a single game until the finals, so you can say this is a good deck list. Unfortunately, he was just destroyed 2-0 by Finn because he couldn't even summon that many Yosenjus in the field thanks to Finn's counterplays. So yeah, this is his deck. This is the Mice Yosenju deck. This deck recently got unbanned in Scrub League. This deck used to be a really sick anti-meta deck. Yosenju is one of the few that has monsters that have decent effects that works around the Mice. So yeah, that's his list. Triple Trench was so good in this deck because you don't have monsters in the field most of the time, as well as lose one turn because you don't special summon. So, and I saw him open Macrocosmos quite a lot actually, and he runs Tindangle to an extra deck. I don't know why, but he runs 2 Utopias. That's quite interesting as well. 2 Utopia with the Lightnings rather. And finally, let's go to the other finalists and the winner of the tournament, which was Finn, who played pure MEKK-KNIGHTS. And when he showed me the deck list, I was surprised he only had 2 blue skies. No one actually wanted to let him borrow the blue sky, even though I know they have blue sky. So I guess he has a less chance, but he still won with just 2 blue skies. I think he only managed to get 2 by borrowing and stuff. But the most important card from the deck's probably Purple Nightfall, which works so well now in a pure build because of the World Legacies memory card, which gives you like a +1 if you resolve it with the purple. The MVP apparently was Knight Avram, which works well in tandem with Brilliant Fusion because you can just summon Seraphonite and then additional normal summon into Avram because Lazuli can fetch it from the grave. And he said drawing 1 Lazuli was fine because he has a Linkuriboh in the extra deck. So you can go and link down and link Spider as well if you draw Abram, which is a Garnet apparently in this deck. You can spec Link Spider and then spec an Avram, which you probably saw in the, I think one or 2 of his feature matches he did do that, where you had 3k damage rather than 2k with the Avrams. You run the Instant Fusion engine, which has 2 targets, Restrict and Panzer Dragon, and of course a Brilliant Fusion. And yeah, this is a 40 card solid deck, double desires, and this weird tech here was Pinpoint Landing, which allows you to draw one card from your deck if you spec 1 monster. So that works really well with MEKK-KNIGHTS. Basically he runs another upstart by running Pinpoint Landing, because most of the time if you go second with this deck you're probably going to spec at least 1 MEKK-KNIGHT on the field from your hand. And he's got Topologic and Borrow Sword for the OTKs, Decode, Nightmare Unicorn, the MEKK-KNIGHT Morningstar Link 2. He doesn't run the Link 3 because apparently that was trash, and Underclock as well for OTKs. Yeah, that's his deck list, and yeah, that's all the playoff stuff sorted. I'll be doing the next season when I get back from vacation, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this season 14 of Scrub League and the deck profiles as well. Hopefully this helps you build your decks, I guess. So yeah, that's it. See you next time. Bye bye.